At you, it's a live stream. Yes, it's yours truly, the Crypto Sniper, bringing you the news, the latest news, the news that you could have got in the community a little earlier this morning. Yes, see the light on the lamp. I am the illuminated light that brings forth all that can be seen before it is ready. That's right. We spoke in the community earlier. First message this morning, run about, 10 o'clock on UTC plus 2 time. And we said, hey, guys, guess what? This thing is looking good. We're going to have upside breaks today. And the 38K is going to be a faller for Bitcoin, in my opinion, as part of a journey right up into the 40s. And at the same time, we highlighted that gold is going to break to the upside. Silver is going to break up to the upside, and that there was data today. That data is now in. And despite one of the things giving us what we wanted, showing a weaker economy on the manufacturing PMIs, the service PMIs actually was a little bit higher. So we got one of what we wanted. In spite of that, we got a great early break on silver, beautiful HVF, and a great one on gold. And guess what? These are anti-fiats. You're on a crypto channel. Why is he talking about silver and gold? Anti-fiats, good people. Anti-fiats. We want to see the anti-fiats win out, and it's good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin in an ascending structure. It has been so strong, it's been grinding up against the dollar, grinding up. If you look at the other currencies, you would actually see that it's more continuation. Someone who's heard about megaphones ascending, descending, and all the key aspects that are unique only to us. Other people talk about megaphones. They don't know what to make of them, though. They don't know when they're continuation or when they're reversal. But we refer to the ascending and the descending. And on the polls, bullish or bearish, they said Bitcoin going down. They should learn the theory. In actual fact, this is an upside squeeze on an ascending. And why did you get that little bit of volatility? Why did they get scared? They need to understand what you need. A, for a megaphone. B, how you can grind low vol, have a small period of a slightly stronger vol, and then still set up in the slightly stronger vol, especially given the news, Binance, etc., FUD, an ascending structure. That 38K has been the ceiling. It's been a resistance. And now we are looking at potentially a move through that, and that could see you break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Okay, somebody, you have to be a certain generation for that one. Anyway, so that's great news for the anti-fiats. This is great news for the anti-fiats. Of course, it's part of the great normalization of the control that they exert over crypto. Who did they get in charge of Binance? Let's see. A World Economic Forum chap. Oh dear. He grew too big. He wasn't part of the cartel. He wouldn't bow, and he got done. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't steal from retail people. He got done. That's right. He got done. And this is how it works with the SEC. You will agree to being guilty, and you will pay the following fine. Otherwise, we'll keep thrashing you around until we destroy your company and you have no money left. That's it. That's literally bully boy. It is not justice. They don't go to court and make their case. They just get you to accept guilt and pay your charge. But the good thing about that, and that's why it wasn't FUD, is that instead of continuing to rook the crypto market around and bully the crypto market and do all the things they do, they named their price. You see, they first just about kill you and threaten to kill you. And then they ransom you. And that's the good news. That means you get to live and you get the stuff off bill. That is the tertiary extractors. That is how the mercantilists of the Middle East always operated. That is how they have always operated. Kidnap, threaten death, and then ransom. That is what happened here, my good friends. This is the Alibaba, by the way. The Alibaba. You're the Alibaba. Woo-hoo. Yep, the Alibaba. That was Jack Ma. He had bodyguards following him around real close. And re-education, a little bit of re-education. I hope he kept his frontal lobe, my poor Baron, and now he doesn't operate so much in the business that he created and built, you guessed it, and now controlled. That's how communists operate. You've just seen the Eastern communists pull that on Alibaba. Now you've seen the Western extraction communists, all of the Zion model. Communism is Zionism, and that's what you've just seen. But bring us back to the charts, Francis. Well, we'll be doing an update with charts this weekend that we'll release. Coin, you guessed it. I'm talking about an equity, not even about crypto. Why is he talking about an equity? We told you in the last one that coin was about to break a key reversal on an inverted head and shoulders. Coin is, of course, Coinbase. We also highlighted MicroStrategy, both of them strongly up today. Why is that happening? Because the larger news has changed. We told you the marketing is changing. The media, I call it the marketing. It's the controlled media. You know, BlackRock's a friend now, and everybody's a friend. That one said it was so bad. They were always creators. They were always friends. They just acted mean. for a while so that you thought it was your freedom. I'll do anything the banks don't like, you said. That must be good for me. Only it was something they set up for you in the first place. That's right. That's how it works. That's how it goes in this beautiful world. But anyway, make the money. You got to be a rich slave rather than a poor one. Yes, sirree. And you can buy yourself a wee bit of freedom. Like me, I had a cold water submersion today with one of my old school buddies. He's got a beard this big. I don't have the luxury of that much hair on my head. It was interesting. It was fun. It was cold. He saw the sun up. I went for the second swim at a more civil time. Then we took coffee, and now we're bouncing like, you guessed it, our friend, what was his name? The comedian, Robin. Help me with the name, guys. I want more interaction. Robin, what was his name? Dead Poet Society. Was it Robin? On crack cocaine. Anyway, that guy. Anyway, that's it. Robin Williams, says Mr. Walker. Thank you so much. You win the prize. Jitching Robin Williams. S. Walker is the man of the moment. He's the first to comment and giving us hearts and likes. That's right. Entertainment on Friday. It's the weekend. You can feel happier. And guess what? If you do this right, you play this bull market right, you don't have to have dooms on Mondays and Sunday evenings. You can go into the new realm where every day is a beautiful day. You even forget which day it is. You start every day with a bit of cold water submersion, a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of managing your investments. You've got one big bull market. Don't get this wrong. Best way to actually ensure you get it right, click that first link in the description below and join us. We're here today. You could have had the news this morning instead of late this evening. But never mind. I still want to help you. Others get help first, though. They've respected me. And I like respect. Oh, I like respect. Give him some respect. Al Pacino. I need some more respect. I'm going to pull out a 9mm and a flipping automatic. Then you're going to respect me. Huh? Is that what I have to do? Okay, never mind. He's been stupid now. But crypto is looking great. Gold is looking great. Silver is looking great. And that's good for the anti-fiats. They're not enemies. They are both really good. And the nice thing about gold, you know what? The Zionists never created it. They can't print it. They can't, and it's physical. You should have some too. I know you don't want to hear that. Follow the Market Sniper. Go look at the update that will be going out in about an hour's time. 7:30 on UTC +2 time on the gold and silver market and why the data today was the trigger. And in actual fact, all the insider cheats were already moving it up before the data came out. How did they know? I wonder, how do they know? Of course, Chinese walls. No one would have told them anything. This is such a clean slated world where nobody cheats. No, it's not like that at all, is it? But anyway, we peasants can be smart. We can follow the money. That's what we do. Charting is following the money, my good friends. Patterns. In that gold and silver video, by the way, which is very much like how we approach crypto. So why I'll tell you is we've got right down to a half-hourly, hourly little HVF pattern that is inside. A small 4-hourly bull flag that is inside. A daily larger bull flag that is inside. A weekly flag. This is like those Russian dolls. What do they call the Russian dolls? Each one's got a little one, and then there's a bigger one, and then there's a bigger one. Or is it the other way around? You start with a big one, and you keep getting a little one. Well, that is what we do. We find the macro setups in the big Russian doll. What are they called? Answers in the comment. Educate me. I'm so stupid. I'm using analogies I don't even know the name to. And then you drop down and you get another one. Matryoshka. Oh, you say it so beautiful. Matryoshka. Ruski. Come now. Yes, Matryoshka. Thank you. Who's the winner of the prize there? M423. I wonder if he comes after the MI5. Matryoshka. Georgy Yabanazov. That's a proper Russian name. Georgy Yabanazov. Oh, I don't know if I nailed it. I tried anyway. Thanks, Georgie. Thanks, M42, Matryoshka. And so we're going down, until we're getting the fractal. That's it. It's teeny. It's weeny. It's like my baby Pippi Blue. That's right. It's like that. And it's tiny and it's small. And you can't put anything more in it. But if you get in there, your risk is there and your entry is there. Guess what? It's kind of small and tight. That is called low risk. 2. You guessed it. When you line them all up together, high reward all the way through the smaller time frames, the medium time frames, the medium large time frames, the mega macro large time frames. All of this gateway 2,900s for gold, and up we'll go. We'll eventually get the 45 to 50 on silver, and this is all good for Bitcoin and crypto. Where's our target? Our first level where it might start slowing down, 40,500. That's a great number. That's what we got on the inverted all along. We lost confidence. We did. We own up. We lost confidence. Little bit of a possible head and shoulder structure showed up. The dollar was getting a bit strong. It had to change. Thankfully, it did. And you know what it taught us? We got a broadening structure. Mr. Muna should come and do the course on megaphones and broadening structures on bull poles, on bear poles. But we got a little bit of a broadening structure with the 25K, the bottom, and it actually popped out the top. What this was telling us is that we are grinding higher. This is an accumulation period. What that means is the ETFs and everybody else are slowly acquiring and have been for quite some time. So even when you are having a pullback, you grind up. You see, that's kind of tricky. That's kind of tricky. You have to recognize where we are, because we've left the bear market and we were right with our original position on the inverted headed shoulder, the bull. It did get a bit forestalled a little bit, while the Fed, of course, more rates, more interest rates, keep hiking, dollar pumpy. That was a bit of a headwind, and that's what took us out of our normal staying in sync with the market. But never mind, we recognize a mistake and we jump back in. We get back in, we're back long. We still have the target for 40.5 and more. So there's a key level at 47.5. We've given these other levels in videos for you. If you could cover Sol a little, that would be great, says Liam O'Dyer. Yes, indeed, we will talk a little bit about it. In fact, all of these things need a real deep dive on charts, and that's sometimes better. This is just webcam-y stuff. Hi, Francis. Cheers from the Netherlands, where we are rejecting globalism and the shit libs. Well, good for you. Good for you. Watch out, though. Lots of alt-right and extreme rights that love Israel. Watch out for that. Try Argentina. Try the Netherlands. Sometimes, and of course, Trump back in America. You bet it. You bet it. They're going to have all the alt-right leaders that are supposedly on your team. Only thing is, they love a bit of Zionism. Yeah, okay, watch out for that one. But anyway, it's still good in some ways. I don't want to ruin your day. Luke says, hey, Francis, I was waiting for the flush out. Oh, dear, yeah. Sometimes you just got to be having a beer, just got more silver. Good. By the way, link below. Buy silver, pure gold, deliver anywhere, just about anywhere, apart from, I think, Nigeria and Australia. Go and have a look. And Bullion Vault, buy down there. It's good to have some physical, guys. They can't print it. And if you hide it good, they're going to really battle to take it away from you. Crypto, power, interwebium, mobile network, those things can go down. They can prevent you from accessing something when you really, really need it for a while. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying, be careful. It's good to have a stable of horses rather than a single fast horse. And Bitcoin may indeed be the fastest horse or your chosen alt, but I don't just have it. I have some of the physical stuff that you can hold. How will a war with the chosen ones affect crypto? Everything is likely to go up, in my view. Debt is likely to go down. So, as we described, the big, old, aging, massive donkey that's carrying the world on its back in terms of financial system is staggering and slumping. And the tiny little market cap super white Tonto pony that's coming to replace it needs inflating up so that all the load can be arched off the dead donkey, the soon-to-be dead donkey, onto the fresh new stallion. That is your digital surveillance finance. That's right. It's coming at you hard and fast, whether you like it or not. It's kind of like going to prison for sex, you know. It's gonna be painful. It's gonna be hard, and it's gonna be ugly, and it's gonna hurt. But anyway, may as well make some money, and hope that somebody else takes one for you, which you could probably shell up for if you get enough money. I like for Monero to win. We'd all like the secrecy to win, but guess what? Secrecy ain't on their agenda now, is it? Metadata, watching out. Is the DDE still coming soon? A DDE can indeed still come soon. Good question. So all this is bullish for the time frame currently under review. So that sees you potentially up to the 40 and a half. You could even make the 47 and a half, but there could still be a pullback. This time, however, no matter what they do, and last time was massive, even if they do something equally massive but different, or even slightly larger massive and more wary, or whatever the case they pull, I suspect the dip that comes will not be to the same degree that came during the events of March 2020. He slows down for dramatic effect. It will not be to the same degree. Why? Because this time there are institutional hands holding, and institutional hands know the game. And many of those dirty little institutional hands are the likes of your Zio Fiend, you guessed it, good old BlackRock chairman. What's his name again? Help me with his name again. What kind of guy is he? Yes, him. He's got I know how this game ends type hands. And that's a really special kind of hard hands. That ain't diamond, but that is harder than diamond. You can cut your teeth on that stuff. I know the whole script type hands. Yep, Larry Fink, that's it. Think is his name. Think by name. Think by nature. He thinks it's going to be good. He thinks he's seen the script. He thinks he's seen it all. That's old Larry. Good old Lol. Yes, Lol is laughing all the way to the bank, he thinks. That's right. And you better follow him because he knows he's a bastard and he's a slimy death cultist, but he knows that I can't get around. And so what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? You follow the 5%. And this is, for us, the crypto market is going to have a good weekend and next week. But the question was about DDE. Now, I can't tell you what might happen after we've run into the 40s and certain levels. By the way, I'll watch for that technically. You know what? Those filthy little insiders love to show how smart they are and get out a little bit and then get back in lower. Not all of them. Some of them are big view. They want the long move. They'll eat the short-term volatility. Some of them are a little bit cheeky and they've got big money and they trim at certain levels and they get back in at others. Why? Because like lol thinks they do know where everything is going and they have a good idea. So dollar so far, tiny bit weak. Why? Why is the dollar weak suddenly? Because overall, many people are thinking that economy ain't so strong anymore. But the problem comes when it ain't about the economy anymore. And that's what could cause the DD, and that's what could cause a possible pullback on Bitcoin and even gold as part of their journey up. Yes, they're going higher, but it ain't going to be straight line when the debt markets are no longer supported. The rates can still go up. And it's not by the Fed that they go up. It's by the market not wanting the debt. Remember the seesaw, as I explained, it rose like this: value up, rates down, rates up, value down. Value starts going down, not enough bid under the debt market. Rates are forced up. As I reminded you, during the George Soros attack, 2 rate hikes occurred by the central bank, Bank of England, during the attack on the pound. Why did they change their mind in the morning to the afternoon? Because they had no choice. No one bought the debt market. There was no bid under the debt market, and nobody wanted pounds. Guess what you have to do? You have to start luring them back in with a little bit more sweet of an interest rate. So here's a reason to have some pounds. Here's a reason we'll pay you 15%. All the other countries are paying you 5%. Eventually, it stops going down because people like rates. You know, they want a bit of earnings. Now, guess what? It's no longer about earnings on interest rates. It's no longer about yield. It's about preservation of capital. And if Bitcoin is going to play a key role, which we think it will, in terms of the larger digital gold, and gold and silver can't be printed and it's the original sound money, those things are going to do just dandy in this commodity bull. Don't forget, we've got cocoa at near highs. We even had sugar, and it's not very fashionable anymore to eat sugar at near highs. We had live cattle at near highs. Man, oh man, we're getting iron ore, we've got uranium, all turning. Why is that? Well, it's because the money's going down and people want more of it to do hard work that takes a lot of energy and a lot of expenses and oil and everything else to break it up. And as a result, what happens? Cheers from Benoni, the Far East. Benoni, God bless the Far East. Orange juice, uranium, mooning on spot. Correct. Carthago, Del Algo from the Netherlands with a new front-running politician. Francis, what will happen if CBDC will block selling of crypto? Is that possible? If we have got lol think involved, you betcha that Bitcoin is going to continue to exist. He's not going to start an ETF on a soon-to-be extinct asset. There might be all forms of custody, all forms of paperwork to fill in every time you want to sell. They might make it a real tricky one for you, but it ain't going to die. So my suspicion is the more we see this, the more we know Bitcoin is controlled, but that also means the more likely it's going to stay alive. So if you got in and you're holding, you'll do a little bit better than if you just left the CBDCs. It could be that Bitcoin turns out the gold standard of money. Who knows? They might bring in extra rules, though, for using it to make it more CBDC-like, and they might try capital gains tax you, and you might have to do X, Y, and Z. So they can try spoil it, but I think that all comes later. First to the 40s, first to the 40s, first to the 40s. Let's go to the 40s. Let's live for the day. Tomorrow we die. At least it's going up. At least you're going to get richer and you know what to do. And you can get a teeny bit of leverage if you know exactly how to play it. Go look at that small time frame. Upside HVF on the silver, inside the 3 flags, all pointing to a far bigger number. That would give you a 1:161.7 risk reward. Imagine that. Throw $1,000 at that and make 161,700, or throw 5,000 or 10,000 and make 1.6 million. What's wrong with that? Who knows? You can decide. But go and watch that video. That'll be coming out shortly after this one. You can have a double header, Francis. Go to the Market Sniper. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like and share. The algorithm doesn't like us. It doesn't show previews. We get in trouble. We're a little bit naughty at times. We don't like people to die because of experimental tricks. No, we don't like that. And that gets us into all sorts of trouble. Triple digit silver in year 2099. I hope before 2099. Francis, do you have a top for BTC, the cycle? We have levels that are likely to be potentially run where there are a cluster of them and a subsequent rest can take place. So what typically happens is the likely event, such as a demand-destroying event, which could see a collapse in bonds and a sudden spike in interest rates, just as everyone's going, the interest rates hikes are all over. You could have it enforced on you with a blow-off amount that could bring the dollar suddenly roaring back and all of that. That'll happen at a level, at a certain level. And you need to make sure you're not leveraged long at those moments. That's why, as I say, this is a good moment, and we're having a good weekend, in my opinion, and likely into the new week. But it is not necessarily forever. Do not sit on leverage, open-ended, with a long-term view, especially if you do not know how to trade, you do not have stops, and you're unaware, or you're doing it on a very illiquid token that your stops could be run without getting you filled and out. So be aware. This discussion is around BTC. We do have other tokens, one of which we've not told you at all about, anything at all about, that remains even better than our XRP to the upside. But we're expecting this to be a very good weekend and next week for the small, short, medium term in terms of days. That does not mean that something dramatic can't happen before Christmas Day, however. So this is just looking out 1 week, a weekend, and the rest of the week. We'll take stock and we'll see how it's going as it's going. Don't forget, there's been quite a bit of selling under 38K, and now we're seeing to overcome that. When that happens, you typically get unleashed for a while and you have a little bit of a surge. Given the US election year, yes, someone watched our previous video about 4 years and coincidences. Do you think there's a time frame window they have to stage the DDE before the election, which if they miss the DDE might be pushed to 2025? What month actually is the election? American friends, tell me in the comments below. Engage with us. When in the year will it be? I need actually to know that. I'm not going to schmoogle it. You're going to tell me. So we'll try field that question. I think November. So there's actually quite a lot of 24 to run before they do that. Yeah, that's some way off. You're literally going to have most of the year. Thank you, November. Dan was fast fingers. Eric was in there. Corey, Simon, Monkey Ball, No Name, David Simon. Thank you, guys. November indeed. So that's quite a lot of the year. That's quite a lot of the year. You could actually run a little bit further and have a dip well before, and then they start the tail end of the dumb and deaf old geezer that has many friends that look like him. You could probably get that DDE even mid-year and still have a big recovery plan put in play, and he'll play After Me the Storm, as you know who gets in, and he leaves a proper nice pile of turd on the porch for him to clean up. That'll be the narrative. Trump will make a whole bunch of it, and then you'll have all the alt-right leaders in, all pledging allegiance to the Zio King in the Middle East and the chosen ones. Hey, sir, Charlie, joining from Delhi. Extremely thankful for the views and expertise. Pleasure, Charlie. Would ETF be perfect time for smart money to sell their bags and dumb money enter? So the announcements are invariably fade the news events. You'll probably go up initially, so there might be a surge of retail, but you'll probably see some money. So remember, no straight lines. I think it's a fair question, and I think typically it gets faded a little bit, but it might, like it did on the data today, run just before the announcement. So the week before, you might get an extra surge. It might be now. It might be now that it's surging along with this. It could be the news that's driving it. You could actually be surge right now. And then you get the announcement in January, mid-January, or you could even have something in Christmas time to cheer you up. A little bit of a Christmas gift, but then you could find it fizzles for a while. And that once it's baked in, it's like, what are we going up? Remember, the market is a discounting mechanism 6 months into ahead. It tries to price what it thinks will be out 6 months ahead. Once something that's 6 months ahead is baked in and it's now attained and it's confirmed, you don't have that as an upside event. It's already in the mix. It's already in the pot. It's already in the stew. It's not a future ingredient. It's already baked into the pot. Sell BTC when RAL goes irresponsibly long, says Erkan Patek. Oh dear, 1 year plus hodlers now over 70%. That's a good point. And this is what I'm talking about, the firming up of the hands. And institutions are going to even further push that until you might find that there's actually a dearthity of supply, all coinciding with the halvening cycle, with the election cycle, with the quantitative easing cycle, all handily to give you a lovely, meaty, fruity boost into the new year to infinity and beyond, I say. This time you're keeping your profits. Why? Because you're clicking the link below and you're making sure you get out at least at your 80% high water mark. You're carrying it all the way. You're not riding all the way down. You're not going to be longing the new bear and then sitting in a 2-year misery rut and giving back all your hard earned on the bull market. This time you are banking it all to the top, and you're going to go buy yourself a beautiful house in a big open piece of land with water, power, entirely not supplied by state, solar, boreholes, and you are going to live with a community of friends, all like-minded, away from a large amount of government, with just a local government and an odd copper for when things go wrong, in a crime-free place with beautiful blue skies, occasional access to the sea, and a beautiful life and living with all the toys you can play with on your massive plot and multiple homes to build with other like-minded friends, community-based, and thereby live a great existence away from government. That is what we want for you all. What time video on market, Sniper? So the gold and silver one will be going out in literally an hour's time. Go and have a look at it. It's very important. It's very important because it helps you understand also what's happening in the crypto and the basing market around the anti-fiats. This is a category we've called the anti-fiat. They work together. The gold is the god market of all anti-fiats, including Bitcoin, and silver is its altcoin. And then when gold starts to move, which is usually first, the others start to move too. Yes, thank you. What's the link being shared in the chat? The Crypto Sniper. Join our free trading course right here. Go and grab the free trading course. It costs you absolutely nothing. I don't want a single cent. Just go and watch and learn. It's awesome. Go click in. All you do is pop an email in. What country would be ideal for such a place, says Dan. Ooh, I don't know. There is no perfect place. Unfortunately, the World Economic Forum seems to be everywhere, in every country, in every politician, and even, you guessed it, Binance. Crypto exchanges now run by the World Economic Forum. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, you thought it was freedom. You thought it was liberty. You thought you'd found a way out. You thought, like the rats in the barn, you thought they'd left the door open for you to escape, and instead you ran straight into the abattoir. That's right, but never mind. We'll make the money, and then we'll hide. We'll hide for as long as we need. How many more years of life do you want? I want quite a few, actually. That means I'm going to plenty of dollars, plenty of self-reliance, plenty of food, self-created, lots of people that have a similar outset, and we're going to hide and fight until the last day. And we're going to have freedom, and we're going to love and breathe every single day. We're going to dance. I gave you on our research channel 3 years lease on life, and I said, depending how you play it, you get an extension on your lease. And that's how you look at it. Live short-term, medium-term. Do not plan for the 30-year. Do not plan for the 40-year. This nature of this planet could be very, very different and very difficult. But in the meantime, make sure you've lived. Make sure you've lived good. And one of the best ways is to make some money when the market is going up. And that's why I'm here, to tell you about why I think the next weekend and the next week is, as far as I'm about to put out, is looking good, and that there's a decent chance we get into the 40s. What else have you guys asked? Looking long term, is this a good price to buy BTC or wait for some lower prices? I think you're going to watch it go up, Geordie. I think you're going to watch it go up, and that's going to hurt you, and you're going to end up FOMOing in 47.5, and then you could get a demand destroying event. Who knows? Maybe it trades down to 30. You might even get a terrible wick down to 29, then you get flushed out, and then you feel terrible. So it's kind of a difficult one. I'm in not only with my investment on my cryptos, but I'm also in with a cheeky bit of leverage, because I think we're going higher. I think we're going to overcome the 38. I think we're going to overcome it rather than just bounce into it. But I do think you have to give it a couple of days, and I think it's going to be an interesting weekend. And as I've already highlighted, manufacturing is contracting. It's below 50 on its reading. That is a contraction, guys. That is a contraction. But you're not allowed to say recession in the mic. Don't say recession. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. Hey, you over there sitting at the back giggling. Don't say recession. It ain't happening. The labor market is red hot. How could it be a recession? So says the Fed. Well, we know they lie. We know they lie. We know they lie about their stats. We know they lie about the birth-death model. We know a lot about those funny numbers that come out there. And we know what people are feeling. We know that actually the likelihood of income earners, wage income earners, are looking at a decade to 2028 with negative real terms wage growth. That, my friends, is how you kill the middle class, even the upper middle class, never mind the lower and the working class. You absolutely kill them. You drag them into serfdom until they're all receiving some form of welfare anyway. And then you're just a short step away from communism. You create a little bit of envy of politics so that all the serfdom ones that now have to get some degree of welfare, even though they're working, and they double earner families, they still need a little bit of governmental help, and they keep printing money to provide that. You know that you're very close, one step away from the Bolshevik communism that they wish to bring in. And it comes with the technological surveillance, data harvesting, etc., knowing everything about you, the zero privacy, the devices that spy on you, the TV that listens to you, and everything else that Snowden, Assange, and everybody else warned you about. That is the oligarchy. The chosen Zio oligarchy that never got antitrusted, never got broken up, even though you have YouTube, you have Android, you have search, you have, it sounds like a pretty dominant, very dominant position. But, who cares? They are grabbing all the info. So useful just to go to one place to get all the data on Joe Schmo. That's right. That's where it is. Puppy Licks, hit the button. We've got 111. Puppy Licks, 360 watching. Bitcoin, the news, according to us, is Bitcoin. Let's check that chart. It's probably reversed and crashed. Quick, Francis, make sure. Bitcoin is an up move. By the way, what did we also say about coin in the last video that you saw with us? Coinbase, we said would break out. Bitcoin is now 38,000. It is through the 38 level, 132, and it hasn't gone crazy volatile, which tells me it can go further over the course of the weekend, continuing in an upward trajectory. 38,132. Coinbase broke a right shoulder on a neckline that we have been warning quite some time is going to be an equity proof. So in the previous video, we gave you 5 key pointers. Where's my notes? He looks scrambling around. One of which was the media turning. Binance settlement is anti-FUD. It is positive. Of course, it's earthly extraction. Of course, it's a complete ripoff. Of course, they're hanging a guy that they didn't do anything about on FTX. In retrospect, they let him steal everybody's money, and your money ended up donated to the Democratic Party, future pandemics, and of course to the Ukraine organ transplant, Tel Aviv hustle and money laundering. That's right. That's what happened. But who knows? Maybe we're wrong. Maybe he is a bad man. Anyway, so all that done and said, Bitcoin is looking strong, looking for the 40s. I can see if it gets more momentum, squeezing higher. Even when it's rested, it has had an upward drift. But you've got to watch it against the other currencies like the euro. On those, it didn't look so upward drifty. On some of the others, this is called 360-degree analysis. Got a little bit of bump and volatility. You had to watch and wait and not jump to any conclusions too soon, squeezing up against the ascending line. The ascending line is now broken. Where did that ascending line come from? Let's go have a look at our charts. Keep the eyes on me. I'm just checking something with you. That's right. So we need the 40,500, and we've still got time from our original inverted setup, our original inverted head and shoulder setup. And in actual fact, the date that you ran out of time that we've been given is December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. And actually, we're getting pretty close to that 40,649. Pretty close. So it's looking positive. It's a nice little squeeze up. I think it can continue to do rather well. And I'm encouraged by the support that the precious metals is giving it as a more dominant market. And this, of course, is going to be on central bank buying. Central banks don't want debt anymore, especially American debt. They don't want that anymore. They're seeing devaluations. China's gone from 1 trillion to about 800 and something billion. And some of that has been devaluation, not just sales. It's been devaluation, going down in value. Remember, interest rates up, value down. Then how much more? As value down starts to accelerate, no bid, nobody wants it. Even the Fed doesn't want to monetize all their toxic garbage that they've created. What then happens? Everybody wants to buy gold. Everyone might want to buy Bitcoin too, and an alt or two that are statist and definitely going to survive. Remember, the statists win. The corrupt status wins. So someone asked about Sol. Venture capital, almost certainly corrupt and status, and it will. So The only wrong call we got on Sol was down to $3. It didn't go. It went down to 7. From the calling the top at 259, we called for a 99.5% drop and it fell 98%. We called all the ups, 3 upside HVFs. We've tweeted this before, and most of the downs, all the way downs, and we had a final head and shoulder target at $3 and some teen cents. Never made it. Clearly turned, I would say. We're deep into a new cycle of bullishness. Never going to see that 3. I don't think. It's going up, and it's status, it's venture capital. You'll say, but ADA is better. Everybody thinks merit. Everybody thinks merit. ADA is better. It does this better. It does that. It may all be true, but they don't care. That's not their horse. I think ADA is also going to be status. I think it's going to do fine as well, actually, by the way. I just chose it as an example. But just because you think your thing is better doesn't mean it wins. You need to check that every politician's nose is in that trough. You need to know that Bono was invited to get early issues like he got on Facebook, and Schmoogle, all the other little dirty World Economic Forum stooges that are there to take you down, laugh at you, and watch and make themselves rich, and ensure that as we get poorer, they get all the upside of that wealth. Let's have a look at MicroStrategy as well. So MicroStrategy, I would expect, would be up. Of course, some of this move is based on the Bitcoin, and MicroStrategy is, unlike just general cryptos, more specifically based on just Bitcoin. It is already your proxy ETF, I suppose you could argue, for many people. And it was in a beautiful little structure. Ooh, yes, sorry. Hadn't had a proper chance to have a look at this one. It had an amazing little upside squeeze as well. In fact, I'm going to grab hold of that one and share that right there to the community. You guys can't see this, but we'll probably, when we do a technical take, share you. Nice little squeezy, and a real break up, and more to come. This has more to come on the upside as a little fractal. I want to have a look at coin on the lower time frames. We've seen the break of that neckline. Remember, necklines get broken with momentum. We gave you a neckline at $110. It was through it today. My alerts pinged. Did you have alerts? No, you didn't. But you didn't know where to have them. You didn't know you were supposed to be watching that. This is the key thing about community-based 360-degree analysis for being certain of your bull trends. When the equities that are related start moving as well, that is when the big institutions are recognizing the significance of your industry. Unfortunately, it's the big money that drives it. The pricing is at the margin, but it's the big money that moves markets, friends. And that is what we're seeing. So MicroStrategy on the 4 hour, let's put him on the 1 hour and grab that little fractal draw. Yes, sirree, it's going. And it broke earlier than Coinbase, and that call came at 345. It is now trading. Can you believe it, guys? 524. You could have been long at 345. That's an 80%. That's an 80% equity move. Now, for some of you in cryptos, you think 80%, that sounds boring. Actually, that is huge. 80%. And I can tell you it wasn't that long ago. Let's have a look at that again. What was the date that the MicroStrategy was at 324? And the date, the last time it touched 324 was 20 October 23. Man, that was yesterday. I was already done with my riding tour. I was already down here in the beautiful Cape Town. Shout out for Cape Town, beautiful Cape Town. Yep. And that was 20. That was just literally, and we're the 24th of November. That was 1 month ago, guys. 1 month ago in 4 days. Wow, and wow. You could have got in. And now what is it? Now what is it? It is 520. Let's get the exact number. 26. To buy is 526. 47. It's going up. It's going up as we speak. It's going up. Why? Because Bitcoin's going up. Bitcoin's above 38. So this wound up at a key level all around, wait for it, the key $500 mark. Imagine that. Key round numbers. We teach you about that, by the way. We analyze like that, and we tell you fractals on small time frames often occur at key levels, on capping descending grind lines, inside patterns. All of this you can learn. Click on the line below. Not only will you watch it, you can just follow us, do it, and you can learn it on the slow and just check with us doing it. And then after a while, you start to get it, and it starts to be knowledge no one could ever take back from you. Neither would I want to, but I couldn't if I wanted to. And you take it forever. You'll buy houses at the right time. You'll buy equities at the right time. You'll sell bonds at the right time, or more or less. You'll start to feel like a luckier trader. Who of you wants to feel like a luckier investor? Just a tiny bit luckier. That things just tend to bend your way and you're getting lucky and you're feeling a bit more fortunate rather than it seems like they're just coming and taking you. I remember when I started, it just seemed like everybody knew where my stop loss and they would just come in and get me every time. It was an absolute trap. Everything was a trap. Everything was a scam. How are they getting me like that? It must be the broker. It must be this. Guess what? Most of the time it isn't. You're too small. You're not that interesting. It's a fact. I'm sorry. Yeah, even, whales aren't that interesting sometimes. Only if they do something really obvious in illiquid markets can things happen. Get luckier. Have a level predetermined that you decide unemotionally, that is put on where you get out, where you get in, why you think it's going up. Have done the 360 analysis. See that you've got friends on your fight that are backing you up. Don't be alone in the orc land with their clubs getting hammered. Go where you have your weapons, you have a good line at your back with lots of backstop. Then you start to win battles, get into shape. That is what's called HVF method. Click the link below and find out more. Anyway, I'm going to do some charts. Let's have some final questions. Then I'm going to close out and wish you all an amazing weekend. What do the people have to say? Mid-cap alt should start to go. So interesting point. People, you guys, most of you know a lot more than me. Corey is saying, Francis, because of the cheap rates, 0% or so, MicroStrategy have a lot more BTC than an ETF can or might. He, Sailor, is safely leveraging around 2x or 3, and maybe they can outperform. Fair point. I'm not familiar with him. I know he's mid-30s or mid-low 30s. I thought it was 33, 32, maybe 34 was his average buy-in. So he's at the margin. So every time you move 1,000 more above in the 30s and go into the 40s, his exposure is making infinitely more pressure. It's almost like a miner. When you're just below production, the price is just below production, you're losing money. And then you go from just below to just above. You pivot from being a loss-making company to being highly cash generative. That's the margin pricing at the margin. And MicroStrategy will get an extra move. And that 1,000 or 2 that Bitcoin moves then will be more profitable than it going from 100,000 to 102,000 for MicroStrategy. Because once it's up there, it's just 2,000 more on 70,000 they already have. So as a percentage gain, it's far less. Have I heard about UBS going down? I don't trust any of those Swiss banks. They're all overgorged on the subprime bubble. None of them ever really truly got fixed. Credit Suisse, UBS. I think, did Credit Suisse get folded into UBS? I've even forgotten. I'm not even sure anymore. But the banks, they could close and take all your money with you. And that would be a great way of reducing all your financial liquidity and ensuring that you watch Bitcoin and crypto go up on the basis of institutions. And you just feel kind of unlucky. Make sure you don't too overexposed to the banks. There's rumors about SoftBank being in trouble. SoftBank has always made terrible investments. That's the Far Eastern money. Sailor is mid-50s. Yeah, and I'm talking about his purchase average, not his age. I think you're referring to his age. Is USDC safer than fiat in the banks? Sometimes I think yes, and sometimes I'm not sure. I think owning a status token outright is probably safer than the dollar proxies on account of possible non-collateral in the proxies. And remember, you can't be in leverage, so you can just hang on even if you get a nasty dip. Crypto Elf of Rivendell, Drift Protocol, Jitto Tensor, maybe Magical Eden on all Solana, look like airdrops to farm. I don't know what that's all about. What's happening with XRP? XRP is having a small pullback after making a little bit of a surge. We're looking for the 112.50 to be run, then we'll have a third high, and then we'll be getting much closer to the big event when all things blow off, and that will probably, XRP, XLM, a couple that are in those setups that didn't have the higher run in the last bull market are going to be the things that give me the closest timing of the next super surge. That moment where you just truly have to be long. And it doesn't always last for very long, but in 3 months, all your Christmases are made. And if you get in too late, at the end of the 3 months because you were licking your wounds for too long. You get a bit more up and then a nasty sell-off. Thank you, Deswell, King for Trader. Yes, get your free virtual call with us on the link below. RH tokens, Pulse is looking a little bit sick and it's taking a while about bottoming. I don't know. I do think that the events regarding the SEC are bedeviling him. And what I said that he did to Binance could happen to RH tokens. That's Richard Hart. They could just say, admit to these things, otherwise we're never going to let up. We're just going to throw lawyers at you, tie you up, keep a cloud over you for bunch of eons. Submit to our control, admit to a new CEO, and we take over your project and you can retire rich. Otherwise, if you just determined to fight and hold out, we'll just keep you strung up for 10 years. It's like Julian Assange. You just stay in jail. Even though technically he's not even in jail yet. He's not even found guilty of anything yet. He's just like, oh, we're holding him to hand him over to America. But you've taken 13 years to hold him. It's just corruption. It's complete corruption. And that's what a big bully can do to you. And that is the great Zio banking cartel that wishes to control all elements of money and ensure that you do not ever have your freedom and that you are herded into like a rat, thinking you've escaped the barn only to run into a greater fire burning barn. Yeah. Are they looking good? Technically patterns. Casper was someone else. Andrew Martins, are they looking good? I don't know what are they you're referring to. I'd hold fiat or BTC. Yeah, so I'd hold cash notes. We are the remnants. And then I would probably, you're not wrong with BTC. It'll be slightly less volatile. I think ETH is going to play catch up against BTC, by the way. That's not to say I'm an ETH fan on principle. I'm just saying technically dispassionate, another corrupted, captured status coin. Any book you would suggest on trading psychology? The book I still need to write is the one you would most get use of. Because every book I read, I kind of got a little bit from, but none of them gave me everything I've managed to learn during my time. And I don't know a better way. And I've looked at many, many things, gone from point and figure to Ichimoku and back and moving averages and MACDs, RSIs, and every indicator under the sun in my early days, only to come to what I consider to be the gold. The gold is in the patterns, the footprints in the sand, my friend. And the tight combination of money management with tight risk management and explosive rewards. And multiple time frames of analysis where you can use small patterns to break you into large patterns, into bigger patterns, so that you take the best target from the bigger pattern, but you take the risk management from the smaller pattern. What are they called again? The Russian dolls. Help me. I've got a brain like a sieve. Our Russians have gone already. Massive lawsuit by Craig Wright in January. I didn't even know he's still around. Matryoshka. Is it Matryoshka? Erkan. If Trump is president again, will that be good for crypto? So it's just Zio control. Matryoshka. Thank you, guys. Matryoshka. I will remember my Matryoshkas next time. So if someone's asking, is the presidential? So these are teleprompter readers, guys. You do understand. They don't make the real decisions. The horde of advisors that are all chosen ones are running the country, and they instruct the statist workers that are doing various things, that are permanently employed in state, on how to do and what to do. No, Trump, no doubt Trump is going. So this whole thing with Holland, Argentina, and Trump, you're thinking you're going to be getting your freedom with the center right, push back against the great, transgender this, transgender that, only to find that they are Zionists through and through. And that's how they forward their agenda. Two enemies supposedly fighting, this puppet hand and this puppet hand. Oh, you're an ugly right hand to Francis. You're such an ugly left hand. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Ooh, good fight, guys. They're buying it. They're buying it. Good fight. Yeah, good fight. And they all belong to Francis. And he was controlling you all this time. And now you're all in my electronic money. And that's it. I now know how much you have. You have to have it all registered. All your properties are on NFTs. I can buy them at any time. And let me just print up some tokens to do that right now. I like your house. Oh, I'll have that. You can become my tenant now. Okay. Oh, there we go. Nice. Communism. Don't forget to pay my rent. Oh, it's tough times. I think you need to pay more. Must work harder. Run on that treadmill, boy. Yes. Lovely. Red Bull Slam. Now I think I can keep up with you, Francis. Says XRP Automated. Correction coming up once for 40K. So 40 and a half. We've got 4,600 target. It could be a bit of a correction there. What are the other levels? I did a video on this where we went detailed into the levels for Bitcoin. Detailed into the Bitcoin levels. Get the Bitcoin chart back up. Ooh, that master micro strategy. I keep wanting to say MasterCard, micro strategy, little squeezy Japanesey. So back we go, and we go to what were we asking? What was the question? That's when your brain like a sieve. Must have a drink of water. The other Bitcoin levels was the question, I think. And let's get the main chart up and remind everybody of the key Bitcoin levels. Yep, a bit of a slam down at the moment, 37,800. So 38 is going to keep being defended until it suddenly isn't. And maybe on light volume it squeaks through. So let's go see which one, BTC. So we've got 37,287 was an interesting level, which we've now broken through. We've had a wind up on it. Why was it an interesting level? It comes from a target way back from the bull market, 64K head and shoulders, 69K head and shoulders, 40,333, 42 and a half. So listen to these numbers. I'll shout them out again. Write them down. Someone write them in the notes if you want, in the chat. 37,287 we're leaving, and we're winding up to get away. The next level, 40,331. This is actually on Bitfinex, so it does vary by exchange. I think that number is 40,600 on Stamp. Let me just check which chart it was. This one, 4,600. There's a lot around 43 and 40.4. So 43 upper 300s, 400, 500, and 600. That's a cluster of levels. The inverted head and shoulder on Gemini. So I'm looking at all charts because I want a clean chart. I'm not a fan of the exchange. We know who the Winkelfosses are. But what I would say is the 40 and a half generally is a key level, depending on which exchange. Sometimes it'll come at 4,400 on one exchange and 4,600 on another. So give or take $100 either way. That's going to be a key level. The next other levels, let's have a look. Let's go up to the higher time frames. 42 and a half. So after you've done 40 and a half, it's kind of like $2,000 to 42 and a half, and then 47 and a half. Then that's 5. So it's kind of 40 and a half, $2,000, then $5,000. So 42 and a half, 47 and a half. Why is 42 and a half significant? That was a neckline on the 69K head and shoulder that targeted out at 16,290. That literally was your low. I don't know a better target performance for head and shoulders in crypto. It was a massive downside. Most people didn't think it would ever happen. And it was a 42 and a half. The 47 and a half was a neckline from the 64K head and shoulder. So the 64K had a neckline at 47 and a half, and it threw it down to the 30s, the 29s and 30s. So that also had a target. I'll tell you what that target was, because we've recently just left it. And that was, it's no longer drawn on that chart. Let's see if I've got it on one of the others. Sometimes these levels get so bogged up. There's too many. That was 35. So it's behind us. It's kind of serving as a bit of support at the moment. 35 was the target. No, it can't be 35. Hold on. Let me just check again. Sorry, I apologize. I misspoke. I've got to drop the time frames to give you that accurately. Having a look at that, but that's behind us anyway. That target is below us, so that's actually serving as active support now from the 64K time frame. So it's probably less important that you have it as a number, but I think it's around. I think it's around the 29s. So yeah, you're well ahead of it now. So the big numbers above you, are the ones I've outlined, and I would put them out there. If you're talking beyond 47 and a half. There is actually, so if you want to go further than 47 and a half, there's the 49,659. So that's going to be gateway 50. You would expect to run 50. And then you have two huge levels, targets, 57 and 57.9. So I don't like when you start getting to 57. If we were to get there beyond 47.5 and then do 50, so the 50 is the next level. So you're going 40.5, 42.5, that's up 2K, then 47.5, that's up 5K, then you get the 50, basically. Let's keep it as 50 round numbers, people can remember. So that's another 2.5. Then you're getting really hard yards, 7,000 to 7,500 above that. From 56.9 to 58.9. That's 57,000. That would be heavy. I would definitely expect a reversal. It could be a point where the demand destroying event happens and you get a major dip down back into the 30s or the low 40s if you got up there. So but that's speculation. We'll see as we get closer to there, and we'll be watching the debt markets as it starts to get a bid and start heading up and looks like it's going to reverse violently. We'll see where Bitcoin is then, and we can refine that. So this is all very speculative guesswork on whether it's the 57s, 58s that it gets reversed. We'll see how it synchronizes with the traditional markets. Deflation of the donkey. Deflation of the dying donkey means relative inflation of the new system, because they've got to get up to, I think, a quadrillion at some point, but they've got to get 100 trillion at least plus. So we've got to get into trillions at some point, but they might bring a mass amount of just issued CBDCs that just come in straight at a 50 trillion or 100 trillion by national region or whatever the case may be. So that could fill up a large part. So it doesn't mean Bitcoin's going to go to 100 trillion. I wish, love it to be, could do, but there's other waiting in the wings, new entrants that will be instantly approved by your corporate Zionist, fascist, communist, Bolshevik government. Yep, that's right. And they'll just come right on in out of the blue. Okay, guys, it's been great checking in with you. We've got 381, 173 of you. In fact, almost 400 people on the stream. That's great to see, by the way. 173 of you really liked it and gave us, tried to fool the algorithm with us. We truly appreciate those people particularly. Don't forget, there's free content on the links provided. Go and do the educational, totally for free, video delivered, I think, every day. You'll grab that. Book a call on the first link below. I will do a technical video on crypto during the course of the weekend, and that will go out. It'll be why Bitcoin is going up. Thank you for the additional likes now coming in for all those that wanted to bump us up. 185, 193. Awesome, guys. We appreciate it. Namaste to you. Have a beautiful time. Get some time. Be with your loved ones. Do great stuff. Live. Life is beautiful, regardless all this black pill stuff I throw at you. Life is beautiful. Don't fail on the psyop, the mental game. This is a mental game. The mind will keep you in. Be smart. Don't be over leveraged. Don't be greedy. The move makes the money, not the leverage. The move makes the money, not the leverage. Please understand that. Stay in the game. Don't get shaken out. I want you all to get wealthy, whether you engage with us or not. I want a better life for everybody who supported the channel, and especially those that hit us with likes and shares. Okay, have a great time. Thank you. Be smart, be safe, trade HVF if you can, and we'll catch you on another day. Watch out for that technical A going out on the Market Sniper and later in the weekend on the cryptos. Bye for now.